What's going on, guys? Jolt here from the Token Minorities, and joining me is, of course, Goldoa Dragon, as we are taking on our final week of the TBL regular season. But fun fact, we're apparently already in the playoffs, so that's news. It's the top 6 teams that advance to the playoffs out of 8, and here we were kind of expecting this to be a week where we're fighting for our playoff lives against the the Chicago Chica Dancers this week. And yeah, we're already in playoffs, but anyways, we're still going to try to build a decent team here for you guys in 30 minutes. We had fun doing that last week. We're going to do that again and see how it goes. But of course, Goldoa is here. Go ahead and say hello.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the last regular season week of the Team Battle League. I'm sad this is ending on some level. I've had a lot of fun with this league. I've had a lot of fun with this team. I know everyone's got their mixed feelings about Wi-Fi, and I know the two of us have kind of had our reservations about LAN and our futures with it. But I don't know, the league has been fun. The people have been great.
Yeah, absolutely. Wi-Fi.
Speaking of the people, we are taking on Olivia and MattOshea this week. Their channels are linked in the description below, so if you have not seen them before, I don't know where you've been under a rock for the Pokemon Draft League community if you haven't seen these two before, but definitely go check them out. As always, our opponents will be linked in the description below. I don't know which channel they're uploading to, so make sure you check out both of them. And as Jolt has taken the team builder intro, I guess I will take over the team intro.
Go for it.
Their team is Noivern, Toxicroak, Gourgeist, Milotic, Clefable, Incineroar, Crustle, Vikavolt, Melmetal, Avalugg, and Trapinch, of all things. I learned today that Trapinch has a base attack of 100, which is nutty because Flygon has a base attack of 100, so I'm not sure what Game Freak was doing there, but there you have it. So, as you usually ask me, I will then turn the question on you, Joel. What do you see right off the bat of their team?
They have a Clefable, so it's a good draft. That's what I see.
Honestly,
that's
though.
what I see. No, but actually, they have a lot of really good fat on their team, and I think that's really what they must have built around. They have an amazing core between the Melmetal and Clefable. That combination is going to be able to pretty much wall out anything on our team, at least to some extent. They're always going to have something they can switch in unless we boost up or have a choice band or choice specs on our team that's breaking through them. So I think the Clefable Melmetal core is pretty much a guaranteed bring in every single one of their matchups. I haven't seen what their usage stats are for their team for the season, but I would be very surprised if both of those haven't shown up every single week. But yeah, the Clef Melmetal is looking like something that'll come, and I don't know, to me it looks like they don't really have a whole lot of offensive support around those Pokemon. I know Melmetal is pretty good offensively too, if I remember correctly, but yeah, it's an interesting squad, definitely. I'm not sure if does Vikavolt get Sticky Web? Is that a thing now?
Yes, it does. Okay. It does get Sticky Web now. So they do have active webs.
That explains a little bit with their speed tiers. Their speed tiers are pretty slow on the team. That was the other thing I was going to point out. We do seem to have a bit of an advantage on the speed tiers here, and just our offense overall I think is going to be a solid option against what they have. It's interesting to see not really a whole lot for Rotom Ghost on their team. Trapinch being their only electric immunity makes Rotom have a pretty good time actually against basically everything. So Rotom could be something we decide to bring, plus the nice speed tier here. I would say Noctowl is amazing, so I think that's something we probably want to strongly consider. But no, realistically, I feel like pretty much all of our offensive mons have a pretty good matchup. It seems like. But what do you think?
Yeah, no, I mean, I was looking at their weaknesses right off the bat, and because for anyone who doesn't know, I made the doc that Jolt and I are using to look at this, and I always chart weaknesses that my opponent's team has, because I think it's really useful to just take a look at it. Even if it doesn't chart resistances, it still gives you a perspective. They have 5 mons weak to rock, and there are only 2 resists to rock on their entire roster, I think. Actually, they have 3 if you include Trapinch, I guess. But Melmetal and Toxicroak are the 2 that I was really actually concerned about. And neither of those mons is going to take a Terrakion head-to-head. A Terrakion head-to-head? Wow, that was weird.
It won't appreciate that. No, you're right.
Neither of those Pokemon is going to appreciate staring down a Terrakion because of its coverage moves and other options. Obviously, EQ, Close Combat, and Stone Edge alone is enough coverage for their entire roster. And you know, yes, they could run Gourgeist, and that's going to make it a little annoying, but Gourgeist has a pretty bad matchup, all things considered, against our roster on the whole. So if they bring it, I feel like I'd be fine with it. And then, yeah, otherwise I just look at Terrakion and I'm like, yep, that thing can go in. And that is the one thing on our team that would definitely be hindered by webs going up, I think, because our other breakers between potentially Rotom, like you were saying, Hydreigon, and Noctowl are all going to ignore webs no matter what. None of them appreciate Vikavolt. I guess Rotom does, but the other two don't appreciate Vikavolt. But they... So I don't know if they'll bring webs or if they'll just bring, you know, like some sort of agility Vikavolt that's just going to try to sweep. But I do see it coming this week.
Yeah, I could definitely see Vikavolt coming as well. I think Salazzle looks pretty nice on our side too. Just like looking again at the wall core that I anticipate, the Clefable Melmetal. Salazzle obviously is super effective coverage for both of those, a stab at that. So I think that Salazzle could be good for breaking down those. I would expect to see the Melodic to come specifically for the Salazzle because nothing else on the team really can deal with it. Unless they go with like an AV Incineroar, I could see something like that being a bring. But
we could run knockoff Salazzle as an option for the switch-in that they're going to be forced to do into either Milotic, get rid of its Flame Orb, or Incineroar, get rid of the Assault Vest for later. You know, so it could be an early game, click knockoff, late game. Actually just attack with it.
Do you think they bring just like a really fat team like Melmetal, Clefable, Gourgeist, Melodic, like bring all four of those? Because in theory that could...
I mean, I don't see Gourgeist coming.
I don't know.
Having drafted before, it's just underwhelming in almost every matchup. And when they look at our team and they see Salazzle, Hydreigon, like Noctowl as the three monsters we've been using the most.
That's kind of funny to think about.
Gourgeist is probably... It really only can potentially handle a Terrakion. And if they are bringing Milotic, there's really no reason to bring it if that's their answer to Terrakion.
My thinking is that Melodic is going to be really important for dealing with the special threats on our team, you know, because Clefable, like, I'm thinking of Salazzle specifically, right? We've seen people bring pretty much specific responses to Salazzle most of the way through because it's our fastest mon, is a pretty big threat. We even saw Heatproof Bronzong last week as something to help deal with Salazzle because they didn't really have anything else. And I'm thinking that, like, Melodic, it's probably going to be the mon that serves that role. And if it's serving that role, it can't also be the physical wall. So, I mean, maybe they can lean on, like, Clefable to be physically defensive and try to deal with Terrakion, but Clef does not appreciate Life Orb hits, I know that. And Bandit as well would be a huge issue for the team when they don't have, like, any rock resists. So, I don't know. I could see them taking a really defensive route and then just throwing on, like a Vikavolt and maybe a... Shoot, I don't even know what the last mount would be. It could be Incineroar, I guess. It could be Noivern for the speed would make a lot of sense, I think, against our team, just so they have something that can outspeed most of our mons. You know?
Yeah. And Noivern's also got pretty good coverage and stabs for our team.
It does. Yeah, I mean, it seems pretty solid. And, like, what's nice, though, is we could even run Noctowl. Like, it can still be offensive in some way, but if we just bulk it out with Roost, it should be able to take hits from Noivern. I think Noivern's not that strong.
Yeah, it's a similar thing where it's got a lot of speed, but not as much offensive prowess. That being said, the attacks it gets are just nutty. Because Draco Meteor, Boom Burst, I mean, it gets like the strongest attacks. Whereas Noctowl is like, I will use this one move over and over, and I will win the game.
And you can't resist it.
But yeah, I think running a really, like, if we do want to run Noctowl, and the fact that Noctowl outspeeds all but 4 mons on their roster, and it outspeeds some Gourgeist as well, guaranteed, I think makes it worth bringing. We don't even need to really run speed. We can run like a just max HP set with maybe a little bit of speed, and then a ton of special attack investment. The Clefable might be the one thing that's definitely going to stand in the Noctowl's way, just because we can't set up on it, because of the possibility of unaware. One option on Noctowl would be running something like Toxic, to see if we can't suss out whether the Clefable is going to be unaware or if it's going to be Magikarp. We could also put rocks up and just kind of scout.
I could definitely see like a Roost, Nasty Plot, Hurricane, Toxic, not Tell. I think that'd be really solid against this team.
Yeah, I'm looking at the roster. They really don't have a switch into that. If their switch in is Milotic or Clefable, and we click Toxic on the switch, then those aren't breaking it.
No, it's exactly, and like a Toxic is really good on Melodic too.
Do you think at that point then Nasty Plot's better than Calm Mind?
Well, I like that Nasty Plot will give us 2-hit KOs on a lot of mons. If we're running bulk though, Calm Mind could be better. They actually, yeah, that's not bad, because that even means like Vikavolt's gonna struggle to respond to us if we're Calm Mind.
Yeah, because all of their things that would be able to break it are special.
Alright, Roost, Calm Mind, Hurricane, Toxic. So here's the downside. If it's a Calm Mind Clef, do we beat it 1v1 if it is Magic Guard? Because most Clefables are still Magic Guard.
It is Magic Guard?
Yeah. Most Clefables are still Magic Guard, even when it looks like Unaware might be better. That's what I found, and personally I almost always run Magic Guard.
So if they are max HP, max special defense, will assumedly be neutral Hurricanes all the time. That's doing about 30%.
Not much, considering we'll miss some of those too. I'm kind of leaning Plot, to be honest. I kind of like Nasty Plot better just because it's instant 2-hit KOs. And it also, like, it kind of helps us avoid the possibility of, like, a Haze Melodic giving us trouble. As we've seen a lot of phasing this season, too. Our team does seem kind of set up reliant on paper. So, I could definitely see Haze being a bring. So, I think Nasty Plot's a little bit better to take advantage of those setup turns where we can.
Okay, I'm on board. I don't have a problem with Nasty Plot Noctowl being the thing where, like, we're debating between Calm Mind and Nasty Plot at this point, and that's way better to me than anything else. It's music to my ears, because it could be we're debating between bringing in a not, or drafting
true,
a not.
that's very
way
true.
past that. So.
Also, I just remembered something that we talked about earlier in the season, and we haven't done it yet on Gardevoir. We said we wanted to bring Teleport. I think this is the matchup.
Yeah, I think that
they're always going
Mel
Metal. Always going Metal or Melodic. We get to teleport into whatever we want. We get teleport into Terrakion. We probably should bring Hydreigon. And between those two, like, that's gonna really pressure the fat.
No, I agree. I think Teleport Gardevoir makes a lot of sense here.
I'm thinking teleport 3 attacks.
What 3 attacks? Ghost Stab's probably fine. I don't know if we necessarily need Psychic Stab.
I mean, that's true. I guess we don't really need it, do we? Because we can Moonblast everything, and we want Focus Blast for Incineroar and for Melmetal.
Moonblast doesn't quite kill a Toxicroak, where Psychic, like, literally annihilates it.
I do kind of like having Side Shot, because Vikavolt has higher Spadab, right?
No, it has higher Fizz Def.
Oh. In that case.
Mystical Fire or Moonblast are both 2-hit KOs on Vikavolt.
Okay. I mean, do we need anything else? Taunt, I guess? Or Willow? We could Willow on the incoming Melmetal, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, Willow would work. Can we live a hit from Melmetal that's burned?
No. I highly doubt it unless we invest a lot.
Burned Melmetal with no item. Like, let's say it's been knocked off. It got burned, is not adamant. And let's even say it's uninvested. How about that? Hold on, I broke the calc. But suffice to say, I think uninvested Melmetal burned still kills us.
If it's adamant especially, I would imagine that it can. So
literally 0 attack, bashful, burned Melmetal with no item. Double Iron Bash mins out at 109% on Gardevoir. That's so upsetting.
Ow. That's okay though. So we can just teleport on that though.
Teleport has negative priority, so you have to teleport on the switch.
Yeah, teleport on the switch, right? So we can force a lot of stuff out with guard though. I would think. We're gonna need to have a good switch into Melmetal, so I think Toad might have to come. Does it get Power Whip or anything?
Melmetal?
Yeah.
What makes it broken is Double Iron Bash having a 30% chance to flinch, hits twice guaranteed, and gets boosted by Iron Fist, and is 143.
Well, the good thing it's only base 34 speed.
No, it does. It's the only grass type move it gets is Solar Power. Solar Beam, I mean.
So look out for Power Herb, I guess.
Special Melmetal isn't a thing.
I mean, it could be.
It does learn Harden.
It's draft format, man. Anything is a thing. I've seen.
That's true.
I've seen it.
It also learns Electric Terrain.
Cool.
I'm looking at this thing's moves for the very first time, and it's really weird. We also should pay attention to the fact that it does get Body Press.
Okay.
And Acid Armor.
So we're gonna.
I don't actually know if it gets Iron Defense.
So, well,
oh, it does get Iron Defense. Yeah. So it could run like an Iron Defense. Iron Defense Body Press set.
Which looks pretty nice against our team, kind of similar to that Bronze Song from last week. Yep.
Rotom is pretty good against that kind of a set, though.
Sure is. Rotom looks
Can Rotom
nice.
have a hit from Melmetal?
Rotom looks really nice. I'm seeing. So I mean, the question for me is, it's kind of between Salazzle and Rotom, I think, for the last mons. I'm seeing Tarak, Hydreigon, Guard, Noctowl as kind of our offense so far, and then Toad is a pivot. I don't think the last 4 mons on the team really need to come. The Ludicolo, Girder, Copper, or Musharna, although Copper would help for Noivern, admittedly.
Well, unless Noivern's running, like, Flamethrower.
Yeah, it would still take the hit, though. Like, Flamethrower is one of the weaker moves that Noivern goes for. But
I mean, Girder is actually not terrible. Fighting is a pretty solid attacking move against them. It has Ice Punch for the coverage that it needs. Knockoff's always really good. It outspeeds the Melmetal naturally, which is kind of nice. But I don't see it needing to.
It seems easy to switch into. Like, Clef just switches in, Gourgeist, if they bring it.
I mean, it has Pajab, and it can knock off the Clef, which isn't nothing. But I think the 6 we're looking at, the Terrakion, Hydreigon, Rotom, Gardevoir, Seismitoad, and Noctowl are better than Girder. So I have no problem with not coming. I'm just trying to say.
What about Salazzle is what I'm trying to figure out. Because Salazzle still looks really nice.
I feel like Salazzle would have to come over Toad, and we'd have to be using it as one of our pivots into Melmetal. In the same way Toad would be. Because Toad isn't really offering us that much outside of beating Melmetal and sort of Milotic.
I would say, honestly, Salazzle would be more over Hydreigon. Because they're both kind of that special breaking role.
But they hit completely different things.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So, like... No, what do you mean? They pretty much hit the same stuff. Hydreigon's able to stay alive better, though. But, like, Salazzle's really good at breaking Clef plus Melmetal, which nothing on our team really breaks...
I mean, Salazzle's really nice because it just toxics everything.
Well, that too, but they also have a couple mons that could potentially not care about toxics if they're a Flameboard, Melodic, Magikarp, Clef, which does make Salazzle a little bit less appealing at that point.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm good with Rotom. I think that's probably okay.
I mean, we weren't debating Rotom. I think Rotom's.
Rotom and Hydreigon. I think that's probably fine.
I like that we're also if they bring webs on Vikavolt, it feels way more like a dead move now.
It's still pretty good. Guard won't care too much. I think Guard should be fat. Guard wants to be a fat pivot, I think, in this matchup. It's going to naturally outspeed almost everything anyway, which is nice. But because Guard's going to need to be what takes our hits from Noivern with how this team is looking.
Yeah, that's fine. I think you can do that.
I think Tarak and Hydreigon are going to be a little bit more on the frail side. Hydreigon might have room for Roost depending on what we bring, but I think Guard's going to be fatter. Noctowl is going to be a little fatter, but still offensive. Toad is fat. Rotom pivot. Tarak, Hydreigon for like breakers to take advantage of Guard's teleport. Is kind of what I'm thinking for a general team move.
You You could run Plot High Dragon as well, since it's going to bait in the Clefable every time.
So what do we run? Just Dark Pulse plus Flash Cannon doesn't cover Incineroar. We could run Dragon coverage plus Flash Cannon. That doesn't cover Melmetal. So we'd probably need 3 attacks. We could go no Roost.
I feel like on some level you kind of have to go no Roost here.
What about lefties? What do you think about like a lefties Nasty Plot 3 attack set? So I'm just thinking against Melodic, it'd be nice to be able to have some form of recovery, because they're probably going to be clicking Ice Beam, and it's nice to be able to, I mean, not just die to that quickly. If we ran Dual Stab Flash Cannon, Nasty Plot. Or...
in Gardevoir's last slot, we could run a Screen.
I mean, maybe. Yeah, they're probably not going to defog or have Brick or something, so we could do that.
No, because if they want their webs up, they're not going to defog them away.
Yeah.
They also have really, really limited removal.
Don't we don't even need dark coverage on Hydreigon. What if we just went like Dragon Pulse or Draco, Flash Cannon, Flamethrower, Nasty Plot? That covers everything.
Yeah, it does. Everything's hit at least neutrally.
Right. And like there's nothing we need Dark Pulse for outside of flinches, which are always nice. It's a matter of Draco or Dragon Pulse versus Draco Meteor, and I could see an argument for either one. Draco might be better since Clef is probably the switch in anyway, so it's nice to just nuke something.
Yeah, and if we're nasty plotting, I mean, Draco just pulls us back down to 0,
Yeah,
and
it's
then we
not
can
a
go for it
huge
again
deal.
pretty much free.
So, okay.
You sure you don't want nasty plot Rotom too?
Might.
We
I mean,
could consider
honestly,
running.
Specs. Why not Specs Rotom?
Yeah, Specs Rotom's fine. I was gonna say we could consider running a choice item on Hydreigon and then plot on Rotom.
I don't like choice as much on Hydreigon just because of Clefable will always be in there and be annoying.
I mean, U-turn then.
Yeah, but then we have to like predict it every time and U-turn, and I don't know.
Okay, that's fine. It's not gonna kill Clefable no matter what, even with Flash Cannon.
Right,
Unless
but we can, but we can Flash Cannon on the Clef coming in the first time to get rid of the Berry Berry that they're probably going to have, because all Clefables run Berry Berry against Hydreigon. Every single one. And then we can just go from there. I don't know. I think we'll be okay.
I don't know, man. The real play is to run like a really HP invested with Roselli Berry and Belch.
Yes, that's the
Nasty
move.
plot as the Roselli Berry pops, and
I've
then
never
Belch
once seen it work, but I've heard people say it many times. So last move on Rotom, we probably want to have Defog maybe, so I'm thinking like Volt Switch, Shadow Ball, Thunderbolt, Defog, Specs Rotom.
Yeah, if we're running Willow on Gardevoir and Toxic on Noctowl, we could consider Hex over Shadow Ball.
We could.
It depends on what the other move on Seismitoad is too. Because if you wanted to put like a status move on Seismitoad, even if Clefable is Magic Guard, Hex is still boosted damage.
True. I'll just slash it for now, and whenever we see what the final moves are, we can decide. Last move on Terrakion. So I have Rocks on Toad. Their removal is Avalugg and Noivern.
Yep.
So, I mean, Terrak could be our setter, because they're just going to go Gourgeist probably. But they're going to go into something fat first. But like we have a slot on Toad, then we might as well have Rocks on that.
Yeah, I figure Rocks on Toad makes way more sense than Rocks on Terrak. Terrak wants... I'm not sure if we wanted to run... So one option is it's a very, very end game win con. Give it a White Herb. Because if they set up webs, then we still outspeed everything. Which could be huge in the end game. Another option is to give it a berry and then slap on either SD or Rock Polish and allow it to outspeed. Because I think the big thing here is that they are going to EV things. If they are bringing webs, they're going to EV things to outspeed a -1 Terrak.
Yeah.
There's no way they're not.
Do you think it's worth White Herb?
The thing is, the thing I like about White Herb here is if we go for a CC and like let's say if we wanted to run Pajab in the last slot if we go for like a CC and Clefable comes in, we get our defenses back, we can probably take a Moon Blast and go for a Poison Jab.
So on the other hand, just something to think about. What if we ran Air Balloon? Because that would also protect us from Trapinch if they happen to bring that.
Oh, interesting. I've never been afraid of a Trapinch in my life.
I'm not really either, but I'm just thinking, like, if we're trying to be cheeky with the item, it might have more utility than just...
Hey, EQ from a Trapinch is a one-shot on an uninvested Terrakion.
So if they're scared of Terrakion, that, I mean, it's also the last week of the season. It's something they could do. I could see it. That's all I'm saying. I could see him doing it.
I agree. No, that's... The fact that it has a base 100 attack stat is kind of wild.
There's not really anything else. Like, unfortunately, they don't really spam EQ with anything on their team necessarily, so it's not like a super useful item, but it does protect against Sticky Web.
Yeah, no, I like Balloon here.
All right, let's try it.
And then the question is the last move going to be like SD? Is it Poison Jab?
I like SD.
I feel like if we get the right opportunity, it just wins the game.
I mean, we can probably SD on Melmetal too, because we're trying to teleport on that anyway, so we might have a shot there.
That's fair. Although Melmetal, if it does stay in,
Probably Chopple.
maybe if it's Chopple, we just die. Actually, it doesn't even need to be Chopple, it just lives a hit.
We probably want knockoff on Toad. Still have a slot available there for something. But we should probably start putting stuff in the builder, because we are getting close to that time. So,
It is true, yeah.
Terrakion. Hydreigon. Rotom. Gardevoir. With the trace ability, of course. Anything good we can trace in this matchup? Seismitoad.
Magic Art or Unaware. Give us knowledge on that one. We could give it Iron Fist. It gets Intimidate from Incineroar. Infiltrator, Frisk from Noivern. No. Arena traps the Trapinch back.
And then we're both free. I think that's how that works, right?
Is that how that works? I actually have no idea.
That's how it works for
it is.
Shadow Tag, I believe. I think it's the same for that, but I'm not 100% sure. Actually, I don't know what the mechanic is in this game specifically. I think that's how it was for Oras, at least. Draco, Flash Cannon, Flamethrower. We got a lot of setup on this team. And I love it. I have no issues with this. So we got a Ghost move to figure out on Rotom. We probably want Toxic somewhere, so maybe Toad wants Toxic. But anyway, so Guard is Teleport, Moonblast, Focus Blast, Filler. I want it to be fatter, so I'm gonna go max HP on that. Seismitoad is Earth Power, Stealth Rock, Knockoff, Filler. Not Towel, the Goat is Roost, Nasty Plot, Hurricane, Toxic. Okay. Now, we talked about lefties on Hydreigon. Start there, so that's probably the easiest. We want speed for Croak. I don't know what else
On Hydreigon?
Yeah.
Sure.
So that's gonna be 295.
296.
So we're so close to being modest.
152 timid.
Wow, that's as close as it gets to being. Literally as close as it gets to being modest.
Well, it's speed ties if it's modest.
Yeah, I'm not taking that risk. I can see them definitely speed tying that. Okay, so that's easy enough. That's Hydreigon. Terrakion, the same speed, but we can go adamant on that one.
So that would the question is, if you want to go adamant, I'm totally for it. But a Jolly Terrakion outspeeds a modest Noivern by 1 point.
There's no way they wouldn't have Noivern outspeed Salazzle, right? There's no way.
Okay, sure, that's fair.
Especially
that's
if they've watched our videos of our past battles, which they're fighting for playoff seeds, so I would imagine that they maybe have. We ran heavy duty boots on Salazzle earlier in the season, and it helped out against Sticky Web. So they probably would try to creep that.
That's fair.
I would think.
So then, yeah, we can probably run Adamant with middle investment. 296 is hit at 176 Adamant.
176?
Speed, yeah.
Okay. Cool. So Terrakion and Hydreigon are both done, I think. Rotom hits the same speed again. Alright. 296.
That's a lot more investment on Rotom.
It is, but like that's fine.
No, I'm just saying. 208 Timid.
Alright. I guess that's okay. So good news is, I guess if
right?
it's, I don't really mind having 3 mons with similar speed, because then you can just look across them, and if one outspeeds a mon, you know all 3 outspeed it, so that's kind of nice.
If we wanted to run Trick instead of Defog on Rotom, I also am not opposed.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
Because Specs Melmetal is...
We don't really
Seems
care.
okay.
Yeah, we don't really care about defog in this game with how our team is designed. So yeah, I
We just have to be careful that they won't... We know they won't go like Vikavolt
yeah.
or like Noivern. Although Noivern probably would have its own specs anyway, so...
Trick is always kind of a prediction play anyway, but
yeah.
I think it makes a lot of sense. So yeah, I'm good with that. And then, okay, guard, we still have a slot. We have a slot on Toad. Let's get the Noctowl, I guess. So item, do we want to have a boosting item? It wouldn't hurt.
On...
Noctowl. Clock Towel.
I mean, Sharp Beak is probably the only one that makes any sense.
Correct. I'm wondering if we need it. So if we go...
Alright, let's do Calx.
Max special attack.
Max special attack modest.
Yeah.
Sharp Beak. So are we looking at +2?
Yeah.
So if it's no boosting item, it is a roll to kill max HP Melmetal. If it has Sharp Beak, it's a guaranteed KO on max
Alright,
HP.
that answers that. What about against like Spadef Clef?
Max especially defensive Clefable is 2-hit KO'd. If it's Magic Card, it's 2 KO'd either way.
Okay.
If it is unaware, then it's 3-hit KO'd either way.
Good deal.
So might as well run Sharp Beak there, I guess.
Yep. That sounds good. So I'm trying to figure the speed on this now. So what is uninvested? You have that on here. So uninvested Melodic is 198. So I think I might try to hit that. I think I'm gonna go up to like 203. So 198 is 199 is 4 speed. I'll go to 204.
It's 112.
Yep. So I have 144 HP, 112 speed, modest. That's going to give us good bulk still. Yeah, it should be pretty good.
Yeah, and if I guess we can figure out if they are unaware Clefable, then we just Toxic it.
I'm actually going to go ahead and go up to Gourgeist as well, just because I can. I'm right there.
Well, Gourgeist could run the other one that has like 99 base speed.
It's going to be the fat one, though.
Then it would be the slow one that has like 58 base speed.
Oh, true.
I wouldn't worry too much about it.
Sorry,
I mean, if you're putting 4 more speed in, I don't think it matters that much. But
nah, I'll just go to 204. I think that's a pretty good spot to be.
This is just the basic Gourgeist in the dock.
Just in case they try to creep uninvested guard or something with Melodic, that gives us a chance to outpace that too. Okay, cool. So that's Noctowl. Then we have 2 mons left, and I think we're running out of time. So let's get this. So we have a slot on guard and a slot on Toad. We don't have Water Stab. We don't have Ice. Maybe we should run Icy Wind or like Ice Punch for Noivern is what I'm thinking, because Noivern's one of their removers. I like to be able to hit that with Toad.
Does Toad get a special ice move?
Icy Wind, I think, is it, unless I got Ice Beam this gen. I'm not aware if it did.
It has Icy Wind, it has Hail, it has Weather Ball if we set up the Hail.
Brilliant.
Yeah, no, Icy Wind's the only special one, and then Ice Punch.
Alright, So I'm thinking Ice Punch makes the most sense.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Gives us coverage for, I guess we already hit knockoff for Gourgeist, but anyway, it gives us something. The only thing I guess would be Icy Wind to slow down Agility Vikavolt. Maybe.
If Vikavolt comes in on the Seismitoad, do we really have time to click Icy Wind?
No.
If they just click Energy Ball, we just lose Toad.
We'll just have to rely on like a Spadef guard, I think, to help out against Vikavolt and stuff. Vikavolt and Noivern.
Yeah, and Rotom resists both of its stabs.
Guard actually does want to be Spadef, the more I look at it. Like, absolutely. But anyway, yeah. So Toad is more Fizz Def. Relaxed. Just really straightforward set, I think, on that would make the most sense. And I think just leftovers. That's going to be good against Croak. It's going to be good against Incineroar, Melmetal. Yeah, Avalugg, just all around annoying against everything on their team. Then finally, Gardevoir, which I think has no reason to be anything but fully Spadef. Maybe run a little speed if we're trying to catch something.
I mean, at least 2 or 8, I guess.
Let's hit the same Noctowl's hitting, so 112.
So that would take 32. I was gonna say, you at least want to outspeed Milotic. There's no reason to let Milotic outpace us.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I'm fine with that 204. We definitely have to worry a little bit about like a Crustle that gets to +2 as well. I definitely didn't think about that.
Does it get? They did just win with that last week, so it is something to note. They might try to bring it again. Did they? It doesn't get grass covered, right? Does it get Bullet Seed or something?
Crustle?
Yeah.
Let's look. I don't think so. It gets Solar Blade.
Okay. If this is the case, I think I'd rather have Scald on Toad.
Sure.
Get Solar Blade. That's they need a Power Herb for that.
Yeah. So if they're White Herb, they're not Power Herb, which means they probably don't have grass coverage. It also gets Solar Beam, but that's the same issue.
What do you think about a Wish Protect guard instead of Focus Blast? Go like Teleport, Moonblast, Wish Protect. Because then we don't hit Melmetal, but we have other mons that do.
But then we're wishing on the turn that the Melmetal... I guess that's fine. I like the Wish. I'm not 100% sold on the Protect.
I'm just thinking if this is going to be so important for dealing with Noivern and dealing with Vikavolt, and it could be really useful. It almost makes me want to run Taunt over Teleport, but I really want to have Teleport.
I mean, if we lose, right? That's not the end of the world. So,
right.
But I like the idea of running... I like Wish a lot. I'm just not sold on Protect. If we're max special defense, Vikavolt's not 2 KOing us. Anyway, it's a 32.5% chance 3 KO if we have leftovers and our max special defense. Now, if we run the 32 speed, we have to take away 32 from
I guess
the defense.
Yeah, nothing's really threatening to immediately get or knock us out, I guess. But I'm just thinking if we ever do want to heal, it'd be nice to have Protect.
Yeah, I'm just thinking that if we ever want to hit the Melmetal, which seems a more likely scenario, that we'll just want to hit it, an uninvested Focus Blast is doing something in the range of 70% to a max HP Melmetal.
Okay.
Which is a non-insignificant amount of damage. So,
it goes back to
I mean, you're the one who's going to click the buttons, and so you're the one who has to be most comfortable with the team. I am going to default to you on this one, Focus Blast versus Protect. I think if you think you can land the Focus Blast on the things that they would bring in on the Gardevoir that are weak to it, I think it's way more useful to have.
I honestly think that the best set is Wish, Protect, Moonblast, Focus Blast, no Teleport. That's what I think the best set is. But do we want to stick our neck out there and bring Teleport because we wanted to try it? That's what it comes down to me. I'm okay with doing it. Like, I'm gonna leave that to you. What do you want to do?
I mean, I think, look, we've already made playoffs by accident, and we are we are the two people who need to understand how to use Gardevoir most effectively. So let's learn how to use this teleport Gardevoir. Let's try it.
Let's do it.
It may not be optimal, but that's fine. So we're gonna have to sacrifice either Protect or Focus Blast. And
I'm sacking
I will
Protect. I won't
turn that
Focus
back to you.
Blast, So.
Okay.
Sounds good.
And if we lose because Gardevoir doesn't have Protect, you can say, "I told you so," and I can say, "So did I."
Actually, I'm gonna sacrifice Focus Blast. Because what we can do then against Melmetal is we can wish up on the switch in, right? So we can either teleport or we can wish on the Melmetal coming in, and Moonblast is still gonna do a chunk to Melmetal first of all, because Gardevoir is just
20%.
Yeah, that's a chunk. And then we can always, if we happen to wish up on the switch into Melmetal, we can go into Seismitoad on it and get that back up to full health too, and that combination is going to be tough for them to break. You know?
Well, I agree.
So that just gives
That's
us
why
a
I
more
love the
effective
Wish
wall
idea.
for it. Yeah, I think Wish Protect is better, and then Teleport just gives us a momentum option.
Okay.
It's maybe a little redundant, but I want to use Teleport, so I think that's what we're going to do.
I just want to watch Gardevoir, like, zoop out of there, so...
It's going to zoop all right.
Can that be the title of the video?
Sure, why not?
It's gonna zoop all right.
That's actually really good. Oh yeah, I like this a lot actually, because we can condition them with Wish, and then we can teleport for momentum, and I can see a lot of ways where that would help our offense. So yes.
We have to play fast if we're gonna try to play a long game.
That is true, but like I think this is a pretty intuitive build too to play quickly with. You know,
Cool.
It's just like
I'm
a
in.
mind game thing. So yeah.
So the question we still had left was the Hex versus Shadow Ball
Yeah.
on Rotom.
And we only have one toxic
only have
user and
Toxic
Skull,
now, right?
So I think Shadow Ball's better.
And so I think Shadow Ball will end up being better.
Yep.
Until we hit that burn on the flamethrower from the Hydreigon and go nuts.
Pretty much.
Although Hex is really, really good against Milotic too. But that being said, we should be clicking a electric move most of the time,
I
regardless.
mean,
so.
T-Bolt spam alone is incredible against their teams. So.
Yeah, if they don't bring the Trapinch.
Yeah, if they don't
Hex
bring the
T-Bolt.
Trapinch, even if they do bring the Trapinch, then Shadow Ball spam is really good against them too. And like Incineroar is not super hard for us to switch into between Hydreigon and Seismitoad, so I think we'll be okay.
Also, like, yeah, if they do bring the Trapinch, Rotom's not trapped, so even if we go for a Volt Switch and they switch it in, we can just
Yeah, just switch
go
out.
out.
Yep.
Like switch out, whatever. Yeah, no, I'm about it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I think I like this squad too. I mean, obviously it could be better, but that's what playoffs are for. So this game, I think, is going to be just fine for us. Be just fine. So, thanks for watching, guys. Let us know what you think about the team in the comments below. And, of course, be on the lookout for the game coming out tomorrow at, what time are we going to do? Probably like, what, 4 p.m. EST again, something like that, if Goldoa is able to edit.
Yeah, as long as I can
enough.
edit it in time, it will be out at that time.
And if it's not there, then you can just blame Goldoa and watch the video whenever it comes out later on. I think that's
It will
the
be
logical
tomorrow.
explanation.
At some point in the evening. 4 o'clock is my goal, and I usually hit that, so...
Sounds like a plan. We're going to be playing this game a little bit later tonight, so we should be able to hopefully get it all squared away here for you guys at the time you would expect. So, thanks for watching, guys. That's all I have to say. Any final words, Goldoa?
No, I'm excited to see this last battle of the season. I am excited that it's not our last battle with this roster. However, it might be the last battle. So the thing is, guys, I do have a couple of words. I didn't think I had any words, but I have some words. Jolt and I were talking before this, and we are both very competitive people. And so one thing to be very aware of is that we've done these team builders live for you guys every single week, and I think we both intend to do that again. But we are probably going to look at the roster and the matchup a lot more before we actually get into the team builder, so that we're talking a lot more, not as much about like what mons they have, so much as what mons we think they're going to bring in the sets that we think will be optimal, because both of us do like winning.
Yes.
And once we're in playoffs, it's really hard to turn that off. So bear in mind the way we've built this whole league and had a lot of fun with it. And I think we're going to keep having fun with it. And it's like, if we lose, neither of us are going to go like heartbroken and rage and start throwing our computers around. But I think we both want to win.
Yeah, like when we're in playoffs, like you're in playoffs to win the league. So for both of us, I think that's kind of where we're at. So we more or less are going to be trying harder, I guess, for playoffs when the time comes. But for the time being, this game is the last of the regular season, so we're going to have some fun with it for sure.
Yes. So that's all I had to say. I just want to make sure you guys are aware of that we have a system and it's been working surprisingly well, about 50% of the time.
Somehow.
But we will probably change that up slightly going into next week. But all that to say, thank you all so much for watching, and we will see you guys back here tomorrow with that battle against Olivia and MattOshea, coaches of the Chicago Shika Dancers. Take care, everybody.
Have a good one, guys. Later.